In this video, we are going to see how to create Trello cards from Notion database items. So here we know that Notion is a note-taking platform where every time a new database item is created, what you want, the information that you have received here, with that information you want to create a Trello card. Now how can that be done? For this you will have to integrate the two applications, and the same thing can be done using Pabbly Connect software. Here your trigger application would be Notion and your action application would be Trello. Now how can you do this yourself? Integrate and automate this entire process. To understand that, let me take you to my screen. To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and as we do that, here we have reached the landing page of this software. On the right hand side you can see two options, sign in and sign up for free. So if you are an existing user, simply click on sign in. If you are a new user, click on this tab sign up. It won't take more than 2 minutes, and also at the time of account creation you will get 100 free tasks. So now I'm going to click on sign in. As I do that, here we have reached all applications page. Let's click on access now for Pabbly Connect. Here we have reached the dashboard of this application. On the right hand side you can see a tab create workflow. Let's click on this and a dialog box has appeared which is asking us to name this workflow. So here my objective is that every time a new database item is created in Notion, then automatically with the information received a Trello card must be created. So I'm going to click on create. As I do that, here we have reached another window which has got two extremely important events. One is trigger, another one here is action. Now triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens, action says do this. Basically action here is the response of your trigger application. So in this integration, my trigger application would be Notion. Let's click on this. And now the trigger event. So this is the event that is going to make my workflow run. So this would be new database item. Now here you can see it is written that this trigger will check for new data in every 8 hours, which basically means that this trigger application has a polling time of 8 hours. The workflow is going to run after every 8 hours to fetch for new data. Now I'm going to click on connect. And as I do that, here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with the Notion's account. Let's click on add new connection, connect with Notion. And as I do that, here we can see that Pabbly Connect is requesting access to Pabbly Connect. Basically this is the Notion database that we have created. I'm going to select pages. Here you can see I've selected all the pages, and now I'm going to click on allow access. As I do that, here we can see that the authorization has been successful, which basically means that Pabbly Connect is now connected with Notion. Here we have to map the database ID. So the database ID, so here we have all the IDs that are there in Notion. Let me show you. So this is Notion and these are the various database IDs. And here I want to work on this ID. The name is tasks. And then within this I have created a table with the following fields: name, email address, task description, created date and due date. And then I have filled some information over here. So taking you back to Pabbly Connect, here I'm going to look for tasks. So once this is selected and as I click on save and send test request, I would receive the API response where I would receive this information that we have just created. So here we can see that first of all, what is the description? This is documents to be submitted. This here is the URL. As I take you down, so again this is the plain text document to be submitted. This here is the name of the person, and then as I go down, this here is the email address. Then we have the color, basically the priority color, and as I take you down, this is here the due date, and then we have the created date. So we have received all the information, and once we have received this, what am I supposed to do? I want to create a Trello card with this information. So my action application here would be Trello. Let's click on this. And the action event here would be to create a card. I'm going to select with plain text type description. Let's click on connect. Here again Pabbly Connect wants to connect itself with Trello account. Let's click on add new connection. Now to set up this connection, we need a username, API key and token. To receive this, first you have to log into your Trello account. I have already done that. And once you have logged in, this here is the hyperlink to receive this. Let's click on this. As we do that, first of all, this here is the API key. So I'm going to copy this, go back to Pabbly Connect and paste this over here. Going back, here you can see for token, there's a hyperlink. Let's click on this. So this here is the username. Let's copy this, go back to Pabbly Connect, paste this over here. And as we scroll down and click on allow, here we have received the token. So let's paste this over here. And once we have done that, let's click on save to set up this connection. And here we can see that Pabbly Connect is now connected with Trello. Now the next thing that we have to do is we have to map this information, the board, list ID, name, description, etc. For this, first I'm going to take you to my Trello account. This is my Trello account and these are the various boards that I have created. Let's say that I want to go to Trello new board. Now these are the various lists. So first the name of the list is test. If you wish to create another list, you can just click on this. So I'm going to go back to Pabbly Connect and here I'm going to select Trello new board. So here it is. So once we have selected this, since there was only one list, so it has already been captured by the system. Now here we are going to map the information, the name. What is mapping? So as I click on this, we can see the previous step and here is the response. So when I write name, so here I get the name. This is how we map. Now why is mapping important? So that every time the workflow runs, it can inculcate the new data. If I had written this manually, so the new data would never be considered. Only the manually written data would have been taken by the system. Now comes the description. So again, I'm going to do the same. Here I'm going to write description and this here is the description. Then we have the position of the Trello card. So you can select top or bottom. I'm going to select top. Then we have the member ID and label ID. So if you have any member ID here, so first you can use list board members action and then you can find the ID and place it over here. And the same thing can be done for label ID. I'm going to leave this blank. Next is due date. Now the due date that we are supposed to fill is in this format, month, date and year with a slash. But the date that we have received here is in a different format. Let me show you. So here you can see we have received in dash format. So here I'm going to change the format. How? As I click on this, we are going to choose a feature by Pabbly which is date time formatter. And the action event would be to format date only. Let's click on connect. So once I do that, here first I'm going to map the date. So let's go down and here is the due date. Now once we have done this, first of all, what is the from format? The from format here is year, month and date. So let's see, year, month and date. Yeah, so this is the format. Now the format that I need is month, date and year. So this here is month, date and year. This is with the time and this is without time, right? This one. So let's select this, click on save and send test request. And as we do that, here we have received the response, month, date and year. Now I'm going to save this connection once again by selecting the existing connection. So once we have refreshed this, I'm going to go down and for this due date, I'm going to go to step 2 and this here is my due date. Now if you have any specific URL to be attached, you can paste it over here. Let's click on save and send test request. As I do that, here we have received the API response. So now let me show you Trello new board. And yes, here you can see February 9, there is a card which has been created. Let me show you the details. So this here is the due date and then we have the description. So I hope that this is absolutely clear to you. Here, this is how we are going to integrate. Since the polling time is for 8 hours, so I'm not going to check this in real time. But this is how you have to integrate the two applications. Let me show you once again what we have to do. So here, our trigger application would be Notion and the event would be new database item. Then our action application here would be Trello, where we would have to create a card with plain text type description, and to change the format of the date, we have chosen a feature by Pabbly which is date time formatter. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the video description. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if you have any specific integration to work on, you can always write to us.
Not only this, but you can integrate multiple applications using Pabbly Connect software. To ask any of your query, you have to write at forum.pabbly.com. You can also visit our website which is www.pabbly.com/connect. To get all the details about the latest updates, the integrations and applications, you can visit our Facebook group. If in case you have found this video helpful, then do not forget to share this with your friends and colleagues so that they can also get into automation and make their life easy. I'm going to see you very soon with different integrations and automations. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Take care of yourself.